Good afternoon and thanks for joining us. I'm Judy Simpson. With the new school year underway, family routines are settling into place, and now is the perfect time to teach your children about the importance of eating well to support their development, both physically and mentally. So joining me is Jill Hussels. Jill is a registered dietitian with the New England Dairy and Food Council, and she's going to help us understand how we can best fuel our kids for school success. At times, particularly for parents with work stress or time constraints, knowing what to feed their kids can be a challenge. So, can you help us with the big picture on kids and nutrition and snacking and meals?
Sure. Providing nutritious foods throughout the day is just as important as providing notebooks and pencils for the classroom. A well-nourished child is a ready-to-learn child. And it all starts with the most important meal of the day, breakfast.
Breakfast.
And there's so many important benefits to breakfast. Research shows that kids that regularly eat breakfast tend to perform better in school. They have better attendance, they're less tardy, and they actually perform better on test scores. So that morning meal is especially important. But the challenge usually is that kids skip breakfast for many reasons. And for parents, it can be really hectic.
Right.
As a parent myself, it could be daunting to get my kids to eat something, to find something that's well balanced. And even the bigger challenge is finding something healthy that both the kids and the parents will agree on.
What are some of the things that should be in a healthy breakfast?
Sure. A healthy breakfast does not need to be complicated. I have some simple, practical examples here of breakfast. Okay. Some oats with milk and dried fruit, a piece of fruit, a banana, and a glass of milk, a yogurt parfait with granola, low-fat yogurt, and some berries, and then a breakfast pizza, which is just, you can scramble some eggs or even microwave your eggs, put on a whole wheat English muffin, and top it with cheese. When planning a breakfast, really the goal should be to aim for including at least 3 of the 5 food groups.
Okay.
What I say is try to offer foods that are with lean proteins, such as eggs. Proteins are the building blocks for muscle and tissue, and really help keep you fuller longer because it's digested a little bit slowly. Go with fruits and vegetables. They're really, really hard to get into in the breakfast. You typically don't see them. They contain important nutrients and vitamins that really help keep you healthy. And here I just, toss in a piece of fruit or some dried fruit. Go whole with whole grains because whole grains are rich in fiber. They're really good for digestive health, and as with protein, they are digested a little bit slower and they help keep you full. They add a lot of bulk. And don't forget the dairy, low-fat and fat-free dairy, such as milk, yogurt, and cheese. Dairy contains a good source of protein and also contains important bone-building nutrients such as calcium and other essential nutrients.
What about substituting, say, a glass of orange juice for a piece of fruit? Is that a wise thing?
Well, if you are going to have juice, make sure to look for that it's 100% fruit juice. Otherwise, you're just offering kids not as much of the vitamins and minerals that they would get from a whole piece of fruit.
And lots of sugar.
Yes.
Now, what about when kids get a little bit older and more independent?
Right. Well, the good news is about going to school is that school breakfast can really take that stress off parents' shoulders of preparing a breakfast. School breakfast is available to all students regardless of socioeconomic background, and it's a really great nutritional value. Did you know that actually school meals follow strict guidelines that they have to obey?
That's amazing.
Yeah,
really.
yeah.
Okay.
For example, they have to contain whole grains, and then each child must select produce, and the produce has to offer a variety of options with different colors. And then also there's a lot of controlled calories, controlled fat, and sodium. And really, how many families really put that much time into planning?
Right.
Yeah. And of course, low-fat and fat-free milk is required to be offered with each school meal.
And so what about kids having enough time to eat breakfast at school?
Yeah, timing is especially important with school breakfast. Sometimes buses may not get to school, early enough for the kids to go to the cafeteria to enjoy breakfast, or, they want to socialize with their friends.
Right.
And that can compete with enjoying breakfast. However, research shows that schools that offer breakfast after the bell models, such as breakfast in the classroom or grab and go, actually have a better chance of increasing student breakfast participation.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. However, some of the challenges for schools to offer those type of models is that they don't have the funding for the startup equipment to offer those breakfast models, such as a cart or insulated cooler bags that really can help transport, deliver, or offer breakfast in the hallway or in the classroom. But the good news is that Dairy Farmers of Vermont and New England do support school breakfast programs through a program called Fuel to Play 60. Field Play 60 is our in-school nutrition and physical activity program designed to help schools improve school wellness.
Okay.
And schools that are enrolled in the program can apply for funding to make sustainable changes, such as offer a grab-and-go breakfast program.
Now, you have some schools that actually are doing some of these things that
Yeah.
we've just been talking about.
Yeah, there are some schools in Vermont that are championing some of these grab-and-go breakfast models, and I'd like to show you some examples.
Okay, great.
First up is, pictured here is Colchester Middle School. Colchester Middle School received Field Play 60 funds for a mobile breakfast cart set up in the hallways, as you see pictured here, which offers hot and cold items. Students can pick up a breakfast in between morning classes and then bring it back to their classroom to eat, so how convenient. The school has actually doubled their breakfast participation by offering breakfast after the bell.
No kidding. That's fantastic.
And then next, pictured here is Mounds Bay Elementary. That's also in Colchester. They offer breakfast in the classroom for all grades. The school received funding for these portable insulated cooler bags. Food service staff just fill up the breakfast in each of these bags. It's organized by a classroom teacher. And then student representatives, they come from each classroom, they pick up, and they actually deliver the breakfast back to their classroom, and teachers and school administration are on board. So
What
it's
a great
very
idea.
well-oiled machine there at
Yeah.
Mounds Bay. And then next up here, it would be Heartland Elementary School. They also offer breakfast in the classroom. Here you see some more insulated cooler bags. They piloted breakfast in the classroom this past spring, and they saw a 114% increase in breakfast participation. Yeah.
That's incredible. That's so important.
Yeah, and they received funding for equipment to help boost their breakfast menu. They wanted to have less prepared items and more recipes from scratch, utilizing some of their farm to school program.
That's fantastic.
And then next up is Milton Elementary School. This is another example of offering breakfast in the classroom. Milton did not receive any funding from New England Dairy Food Council for the Breakfast in the Classroom program. However, it doesn't take much equipment to get a program like this set up and running. Here you just see here, they use a basic cart. They fill up the, the low-fat, fat-free dairy, fruits, vegetables, lean protein, put it on the cart, and then they deliver the nutritious meals to their elementary students. Isn't that kid so cute there?
Very happy. So now, are all schools offering these kinds of after-the-bell programs?
Yeah, not all schools are offering breakfast after the bell. In Vermont, New England Dairy and Food Council and Hunger Free Vermont are challenging schools in Vermont to increase breakfast participation by at least 20% by offering breakfast after the bell. We've seen 24 schools meet the challenge since 2016, and 14 more are registered this
Fantastic.
fall. So parents can reach out to their school principal or their food service director if they're interested in starting the conversation about getting grab-and-go breakfast started.
Perfect. Let's move on to lunch.
Yeah, great. Lunch school meals are better than ever before. Food service directors are increasing their use of lean protein, lean low-fat and fat-free dairy, fresh fruits, vegetables, really focusing on utilizing more farm-to-school programs, which is great. Just like breakfast, lunch is actually required to meet those strict standards. So, like I mentioned before, more whole grains, fruit, vegetables. And some parents think that schools, that they serve chicken nuggets or pizza, that it's not healthy. But since lunch does have to obey by the same guidelines, they're not fried. They're baked.
Right.
Yeah, they're offered usually with low-fat and lean ingredients, fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and low-fat dairy, so it's really making it a well-balanced meal.
All right, how about some of the things if you're going to be packing lunch for your children, some ideas?
Yeah, lunch is really a perfect way to use up leftovers from the night before. At least that's what I like to do. And I always say if you have a pita bread, whole wheat pita bread or wrap, it's a great way to stuff in some of that protein from last night, keeping in mind the same rules as breakfast, try to incorporate at least 3 of the 5 food groups.
Right.
Here I just used some leftover chicken and cut it up and combined some craisins. I also included some low-fat yogurt and some celery, chopped it up and put it into a whole wheat pita wrap. Another option, and that's actually offers a great source of protein. Next up is this roasted vegetables. You can also use grilled vegetables that you have from the night before. It goes great, and again, a wrap or a pita bread, it's a great way to add some fiber and some extra vitamin and minerals
And it's quick.
to lunch. Very quick, yes. You can even have your kids help prepare. And then also you know, if you have some leftover black beans, I just spread some mashed sweet potato on the wrap, and then added some black beans, and then melted some cheddar on it, and that's also another quick option.
Perfect.
Also here I have a vegetable confetti bagel. You can just it's a great way for kids to have one of their favorites, like a bagel, and get some extra, sneak in some extra vegetables.
All kinds of chunks of vegetables in it. Looks
Yeah,
really
it's like
good.
making your own veggie cream cheese. I just, took a whole wheat bagel and then cut up some scallions, some red pepper. You could basically use any of your vegetables that you like, and then just mix it into the cream cheese and then spread it on there. So again, it's like making your own.
And this I
veggie
love.
cream
This
cheese.
is a great idea.
Yeah, so basically what this is I took a whole banana, and then I spread some nut butter alternative. I used a sun butter, but you can use, any type of butter or nut butter alternative. And then I just put it into a hot dog bun, so you're getting your potassium from the banana, also a little bit of protein, and the kids think, hey, it looks like they're eating a hot dog.
Right, and it's easy to, it's easy to eat. That you don't have to worry about forks and spoons and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to after-school snacks.
Yeah, so we have, the way I look at snacks is snacks really do help boost kids' energy throughout the day. Some people think, well, are snacks really necessary? I mean, it does depend on the portion size and what the snack is. But snacks are really that mini meals. Not really an opportunity to offer empty calories, but they can obviously boost kids' energy. What I like is that I put some grab-and-go, snack options right here in containers.
Perfect.
One in the cupboard, one in the refrigerator, so kids can have some quick, easy, convenient ways
It's
to
packaged. Just grab some Cheerios.
Yeah, I have some.
Grab some nuts.
Cut up fruit, fresh fruit, dried fruit, almonds, graham crackers, cereal. Kids love being able to just grab their own yogurt, string cheese, low-fat dairy, and cut up fruit, and some lean protein.
All right, now you've also got some more creative snacks over here that I want to make sure that we get to.
Yeah, so right here I have some apple rings. It's a very great way to get kids involved. Kids can help decorate. Basically, you just core an apple, put some yogurt on there, and then you can have the kids put their own topping. Did you want to try?
Sure, yeah, I'll do this while you talk about the nutritional value of this.
Yeah, sure. So it's a great way to, again, get kids to have some fruit and also some dairy, low-fat dairy.
Yep.
And then get kids involved. Next up would be some of the some yogurt bark.
Yogurt bark.
Yeah, and actually this is a great way to get nutrition because it actually contains low-fat yogurt and it builds on that.
Now what's on the bottom here?
That trend. So what it is basically you take blueberries and strawberries and berries and some mango. Actually has some mango in it. You microwave it, mash it, then you combine it with some yogurt. And then you line it in some parchment paper.
Fantastic.
And then you freeze it, and then you put some coconut on it, and it makes a great treat. And it capitalizes on that unicorn trend that all the kids like.
Now, we've also got smoothies.
Yes. So most people think, smoothies in a glass, it's a great nutritious way for kids to get some extra vitamins and minerals and some dairy. This is actually a smoothie bowl. So basically what I did is I blended some low-fat chocolate milk and a little bit of yogurt and vanilla extract. Blended that right up, and then if I can have you pour it into the bowl.
Okay. Whoa.
Goes a little fast.
Yep.
And then you can, just as you did with the apple rings, you can
Add whatever you want to it.
Yep.
Some fruits.
Add some fruits.
Great. Yeah, this is
You have
terrific.
fruits. You can add nuts, granola, whole grain cereal.
Make your own kind of soup with this.
Yeah, and then you just spoon it instead of drinking it. You would just spoon it out.
That's awesome. A different way to present your food, your snacks. These are all great ideas. Now, where can parents and school officials find out more information if they're interested in some of the programs that we talked about for their schools, or even ideas for snacks?
Yeah, if they're interested in funding or learning more about Field to Play 60, they can go to newenglanddairyfoodcouncil.org to learn more about Field to Play 60 and funding available to offer some of these ideas that you've seen here today.
And how about if people have any questions about what they've seen here today? Should they contact the same number?
Yeah, go to newenglanddairyfoodcouncil.org.
Now, do you have lots of recipes there too for folks?
We do have lots of recipes as well. Also on our Must Be the Milk website has a lot of recipes as well.
All right, well, terrific. Well, thank you so much for joining us. This sheds a whole new light on school lunches. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, but it's good to know that you can have a lunch available and breakfast available at school.
That is very important. Thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you.
us. That's our program for today. I'm Judy Simpson. I'll see you again next time on Across the Fence.